So let me ask you a question. Do you want to get better? Do you have a goal or drive or determination to constantly improve not only yourself, but your skills? So you want to improve yourself, right? Your decision making, how you manage your personality and, looking at your blind spots that we've talked about. But do you overall want to get better? Do you have aspirations to reach a certain level? Not a title, but a level, whatever that measurement is, salary, responsibility. Maybe it, as a title, you would, have a certain amount of responsibility and salary. Do you have a target out there? Do you know? Wait, I'm going to ask you two questions. Do you know where you're going on vacation next summer? Now it's November 1st. Yep. It's Thinking Thursday on Friday. We're doing a new segment called Thinking Thursday, and now it's Friday and we're going to record it. Nope, I was just busy yesterday and couldn't get it done. But do you know where you're going to be in 5 years? In 2029, on November 1st, do you have a detailed, specific, measurable, timely goal that says this is where I'm going to be in whatever segment of your life, personal, professional, relationships, community, financial? Do you have a goal or goals? Or are they just in your head? Because if they're just in their head, they don't exist. You know why? Because you can go, no, I don't like that. We're just going to change that a little bit. We're going to tweak that. But if you put it on paper and you tell somebody to hold me accountable, your whole life can change. So that's question number one. Do you know where you're going to be in vacation this summer? I'll bet most of you do. But you don't know where you're going to be next year or 5 years from now because you haven't sat down and thought about it. It just sits there. It's just out there, and I react to life. Most of us do. We have no concept of where 5 years will be. I realized yesterday when I drove past a house that I lived in 10 years ago that 10 years was like a blink. Before you know it, 5 years will be here and gone. And have you planned? You cannot actively achieve what you want if you don't have a plan. So please, think about this opportunity to grow yourself. And there's lots of obstacles around this idea of growth and personal improvement, right? But let me guess what one of them is. If you just woke up this morning, you're growing. Maybe your waistband. But is your career growing? Are your relationships growing? Is your finances growing just because you woke up today? No. You have to plan. You have to take time to plan. I can help you with that. Most people want something better, but they don't do anything about it, so they just stay where they are. And so think about this. I say this all the time to people, and hopefully it sinks in to some of you at least. Think about this. You woke up this morning and somebody calls you and says, hey, how about you go in on a business with me? How about you and I think about going out to dinner together for a date? How about you and I talk about your next step in your career? And you take on this responsibility. How about you take over leadership of a community civic organization, or we put you in line to do that? You're going to make a decision about all of that just by what's in front of you. Does the offer sound good? Does it make me feel like it's going to make me feel better about myself? Maybe I'm going to help somebody in the community. But what if that same set of situations came upon you and you knew that you're trying to get 5 years down the road and there's a target out there that you want? Now you sift those opportunities through that lens, not just the lens of what's in front of you. If it makes you feel good, if it sounds good today, maybe it would sound awful tomorrow. But if you took the time to plan what 5 years looks like, even go 3 years if 5 years seems, but it's not. But even if you went 3 years. And so how do you do this stuff? That's what I'm here for, to help you. There's a process, okay? There's a whole process to laying out goals And then to use Jack Canfield's process, write them down on a 3x5 card, carry them with you, and look at them 3 times a day. And not just look at them and read the words, I want to such and such. Visualize that your life is already there, that whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, financial stability, better relationships, something in your faith, something in your business, something in your community, you already visualize that's happening. So now you can visualize that your life is different. And you're attracting those things to you because you're putting out vibrations to pull that to you. Instead of just waking up today, and let me just tell you one of the most famous acronyms I've ever heard in my life. Have you ever heard of SWAG? You know, the swag, not the swag that you get when you're a movie star and you go to an awards ceremony. No. SWAG, SWAG, scientific wild ass guess. If you just go out here every day and wake up and go, let me just see what comes today. Let me just see how I feel about what's coming today. Instead of going, I have given significant thought, very detailed thought, written down thoughts about what I want 5 years from now, and I'm going to do everything in my power every day to get there. That's personal growth. That's professional development at its finest because you have a target. So listen to me. I talk to you about being leaders, but good leaders have to know themselves to grow themselves. That's a John Maxwell axiom, okay? But if you don't know yourself and you don't know where you're going and you don't know what your issues are and what your problems are and what your blind spots are and what your strengths and weaknesses are, how do you set about a plan to improve? I can help you with this. I have a group called the Peak Potential Network. Peak Potential Network is a group of people who meet with me once a month virtually. We do some training. They come back in a couple of weeks. We have Q&A. We have some group coaching. I would like to hear you say, it's time for me to get to a different place in my life. So many of us are unhappy with our jobs. You know, I talked about having a horrible boss last week. How does that affect your life even when you're away from work? It's horrible. It affects your health, your relationships, everything. How you view the world, it's terrible. But you can fix it if you own it. So own it. Call me, 215-821-7592. info@browningadvisors.com. Reach out to me. Let's talk about how I can help you individually, or I can help you get into this Peak Potential Network. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to November. Hopefully it's a good month for you, and we're getting close to the end of the year. And so if I can help you, please reach out. Take care.